Glory be to God. My name is Rashad Johnson. I'm making this video because the video that you're about to witness is a past event. Today's date is October 24th, 2025. The videos that you're witnessing at this moment is in 2024. Now, my journey started in 2016, which I do have a testimony series if you would like to know more about me and where I came from and giving my life over to the Lord and why God chose me. And when I say He chose me to document my journey with my wife. During this journey, God done blessed me. He done taught me. I done learned how to cast out demons. I learned how to be righteous. I learned how to love. I learned how to become a new person through the Word of God. But when it comes to my wife, God had us go through trials and tribulations to build me up. I had to go through some spiritual warfare. I had videos that dates back to 2019 with me and my wife when we got married. And the first year we was married. And the spiritual warfare attacks happened that suddenly, where I noticed a lot of the stuff that I'm going through is not normal. It didn't make sense. There was no logic. There was lies and manipulation and deceivingness coming from my wife. A woman that loved God, that worked at the church, that was prayer lines and Bible study, and then all of a sudden it just stopped. I was already gave my life to the Lord. Me and my wife, before we got married, we didn't have sex. We didn't live with each other until we moved in. So I was following the instructions that my God, Lord, Christ gave me from a previous marriage before my wife that I'm with right now. But what y'all gonna witness in these videos is how I overcame, how I been doing the will of God. There is video, actual footage of arguments of me and my wife and her acting out in spiritual warfare, attacking me. But a lot of my videos is just me talking to you over the phone, giving you a rundown of a spiritual argument that I just had. Now, I didn't want to post my life over to social media and Facebook, but God was putting this on my spirit to do. And I fought with God. I didn't want to do this because I love my wife. I'm in love with my wife. And like I said, I didn't want people in my personal life. But come to find out, and when I realized this is bigger than me and my wife, this is bigger than me and my wife. It's for everybody out there that's watching these videos that God done guided to watch these videos. It's just a lot of my videos may not even be talking about my wife. I done had spiritual arguments with being attacked by the enemy with co-workers that I really did have relationships with, that I truly loved. My children, my siblings, my sisters, my father, my mother. I've been attacked from all angles, from my finances, my name being slurred. I done had curses put on me. And God had to teach me how to fight spiritually. I had to learn how to rebuke and bind, declare, decree and declare. I had to learn how to recognize these demons and their tactics and how they fight. What causes a person to allow the demon into to controlling them? The Bible's crystal clear. I do back up a lot what I say with the Bible verses in the videos. This is not about, let me show you my life in drama. This is showing you how God is maneuvering and how great our God is. He used me and my family, but he mainly used me to do his will, which is my purpose. Even though today, October 24th, 2025, my story is not done. My wife and I are in a divine separation where God had to separate us to correct things to get me and my wife equally yoked. And she been through some things. I haven't spoken to her, but you will see how God brings us back together. You just got to watch the videos in order. It's a lot of videos. It's a lot of videos. This is not a quick story. This is a teaching moment. God tells me what to say, what to put. He done use prophets to reach out to me and tell me what's going on with my wife or what to expect, how to fight the enemy. Like it was people that I was underneath that went on the journey before me that is giving me the wording to understand what I'm going through and how to fight the enemy. But when you watch these videos, you will see the miracles, you will see the breakthroughs, you will see things that I said that took place with me that God told me this is not going to stand, and it did not stand. A lot of y'all may be going through spiritual warfare and don't even know it. A lot of y'all may be separated from your spouses and your loved ones, or you may not be talking to your loved ones or your mothers or your fathers or co-workers, and you think that it's just normal. No, you're being attacked. This is spiritual warfare. I talk about everything. And like I said, I use the biblical Bible verses to back up everything I'm saying. So I'm not going to make this too long. Continue to watch these videos in order. They are numbered from episode 1 to episode 300 and whatever. But watch how the story plays out. And like I said, if you want to reach me, my email is in the description. If you want to know more about me and my journey, go look up my testimony series. I love y'all, and I'm out. All praises to our Father. Glory be to God. It is April 10th, 2024. I'm making this video because I just got a disturbing text from my wife. Now, ever since I've been married to my wife, she's always taking sleeping pills. And it's like, I don't understand why she is taking so many sleeping pills, melatonin. If it's any type, I don't even like to get like NyQuil medicine, especially if it is, I get Dayquil, because if I get NyQuil, she'll drink it just to go to sleep, right? And I notice with this enemy, it wants to sleep all the time. Everything is sleep, 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 sleep. So my wife tells me in this text I almost OD'd, overdosed on sleeping pills. Now, I didn't pay it no mind at first because I'm like, I thought it was more like a figure of speech because she constantly takes sleeping pills to go to sleep. And I don't know why she's taking sleeping pills to go to sleep, right? I don't think she was taking sleeping pills before she met me. And so she texts me like, did you hear what I said? Right? And so I go back to the text to read the text, and then I call her. I ask, I'm asking questions like, why are you thinking about overdosing, like taking sleeping pills? She said, now these is her words. She said, I don't know why. My life isn't in shambles. Now, I had to make a decision. Do I say, well, it's because it's demonic and and that demon is trying to make you commit suicide? Or is it, or do I don't say nothing? So I chose not to say anything because I did not want to start anything, right? Because I see that she's not in her right frame of space mentally. Now, she's been having problems at work, which she's constantly worrying and thinking. And anybody that knows the word of God, God tells us not to worry. And the thing is, she's worrying about stuff that's minor. It ain't stuff that's major, right? And when I talk to her about her job, because it's a new position of leadership, she's overthinking stuff. And I had to talk to her today, like, well, she felt like it was something that she was supposed to be trained when she first started, but she wasn't trained, and now they're finally training her. She done been on this position for about 4 or 5 months. And I had to really simplify it and ask her, them not training you when you started, did it make your job difficult? Because if it made it difficult, then yes, you have a gripe, right? But if it did not make your job difficult, then there ain't nothing to worry about. You're being trained now, so let's just push forward. But for her and this enemy, because like I said, now I'm releasing these videos, and now my wife ain't never talked about committing suicide. I asked her, have she ever had these thoughts before? She said one other time. I said, when? She said, I don't know. I said, well, is it 6 months ago, a year ago, 2 years ago? Like, you should be able to tell me roughly, right? She says, 3 years ago. 2021 was the darkest year, spiritual, that I went through with my wife. Now, me and my wife, we ain't going through no spiritual battles recently. We ain't argued today. We ain't been arguing. I'm always alert on things that she say and what's going on. But for her to tell me that she thought about taking sleeping pills to overdose is very disturbing. And I don't know what to do. I'm going to pray And, you know, all I could do, excuse me, is continue to put these videos out. That's all I could do. Continue on my journey, my purpose. Continue to love my wife and love her unconditionally, like the Bible tells me to love her. Forgive her. Man, she told me that she'll be in the guest room, and I'll see her when she got to be at work. She got to get up early at 5:40. She got to leave the house by 5:45 to drive all the way out to LA for work for the next for tomorrow and Thursday, and then she'll be back out this way. But the enemy's playing with my wife, and he's trying to make her end her life. I just need my wife to stay mentally strong and know that's not her putting those thoughts in her head. That's the enemy. The enemy's putting these fiery darts in her head. And like I said, man, I've been trying to tell her, you need to start doing what the Word of God tells you, and you need to start strengthening her, renewing your mind and strengthening it. But the enemy got so much of a stronghold on her mind that oh man. I asked her if she wanted me, do I need to come home? Even though I get off at 11:30, it's 9:30 now. She said no. I said, okay. Wow. The first time she thought about suicide, she never told me this. She never told me this. And this is her first time telling me. So for her to text me is, I guess, you know, I didn't respond the way she wanted me to respond, but I told her, you should have just called me. But like I said, I didn't really read the text, like, because I was listening to something, so it popped up on my screen, and then it as a notification. So it ain't like I opened the text and I read it. Like, it was one of those glance. Oh, I see my wife is text me. I skimmed through it. Didn't really think nothing of it, you know. But when she texted me again and said something, then I had to go back and look at the text. And that's when I text her. I called her once I read it. Like she said, man, her life ain't in shambles, but she don't know why she had those thoughts in her head. That ain't nothing but the enemy. That goes back to when I be telling y'all, when I ask her, what did I do? And she can't tell me what I did. I'm being accused of something, but can't tell me exactly what I did that has her acting out. Or she's accusing me of doing something that I never did. And when I tell her to explain or ask her what I did for her to be acting the way she's acting, I don't have to say anything. You already know. You know everything. And the enemy only says that because I follow the Word of God. So, and all my knowledge and wisdom comes from the Word of God. So I don't really quote scriptures at her, but I do. But the enemy knows that I know what I know based off what the Word of God tells me to know. So that's when the enemy's always saying, you know everything. You know everything. You're perfect. And it's like, huh? I never once said I know everything. I never once said I got all the answers. God got all the answers. I just follow that what he done told me to live by. So that don't mean I got all the answers. He got all the answers. Not me. I'm just Rashad. I'm just a humble servant to the Lord. But I ain't gonna make this any longer. I just wanted to let y'all know what's going on.